back seat, remove the carpet right here. There is a twist lock, twist that, and slide this out of the way. Make sure the seat is all the way back, and then grab this trim piece and just pull straight up. There's some locks that hold it down. Pin right there. Use a T20 socket. Remove this screw. And grab this cover. Slide it up and outwards. Use a 10mm socket. Loosen up the negative terminal. Grab the connection and just slide it out of the way. Take this nut off right here. Use an 18mm socket. Now I'm just going to take a block of wood and underneath the oil pan, just support the engine right here. There's not a lot of weight. There is 2 other mounts holding the engine and transmission up. So just take a little bit of the pressure off the mount. There's 2 bolts right here, and there's 2 more up here. You want to take those off, one on this side, and then one you really can't see. You're going to have to go in through here to access it. Use a 15mm socket to take these out. Now with a longer extension, I'm going to loosen that top one. And just use magnet. Grab that bolt. There's a nut on the top of this mount that we need to remove. It's not the easiest to remove right now. Ideally, before you took any of these other bolts out, you want to take that nut off from up top. You're going to have to use a long extension. Take that off. That's going to save you some time. That's not going to jeopardize anything with supporting the engine. The engine will just sit there just fine. So we're going to take that off now. Use an 18mm socket. We're just going to slide the gun up through here. Still a decent amount of room in here, so it's not impossible. It would just be easier to do it before. And take the nut off. And you can separate the mount from the bracket. Slide the mount out. And the bracket. On the back side of the engine, if you were doing the knock sensor 1 or the bank 1 knock sensor, it's right under this cover right here, that little heat shield. You have to take that heat shield off and then you can access it. And the knock sensor connector right here, we need to disconnect that. Just pull this tab, push down on the lock and slide it out. It's extremely hard to access this front knock sensor from the top, but you can remove the oil filter, then you can access it right there if you wanted to try that. Otherwise, there's a lot more room taking this front engine mount out. Now take a 13mm socket and take the bolt out. And carefully make sure you don't drop this and slide it out. Take the knock sensor and just line it up. Get the bolt started. And torque this bolt to 17 foot-pounds. Try to hold it from spinning while you're torquing this. That's good. And connect the connector. Make sure it locks in place and then push into the lock tab. That's good. When you're looking at the bottom of the mount, keep in mind there is a little tab to index it. So if you're looking at it from the front of the vehicle, this is going to be the front. That tab is going to be towards the passenger side. Now this mount is going to slide in position. This little cover is going to go over the top of the mount, just like that. And just slide it up. And get the mount in position, and then the bracket on top. Just like that. Now get all the bolts started for the bracket. And tighten these all down. Make sure you snug them all up. Now you can see in here, if you just spin the mount, be careful in case there's pressure on it, and get that tab to line up right in that slot. That's good. At this point, we can lower the engine down. At this point, put the nuts on. And tighten it down. And then if you want to get this other nut from up top, you can, or try to do it from underneath like this. Just like we took it out. There we go. Now reconnect the battery. And snug this down. Make sure this is not loose. Put the cover on. And the screw. Tighten the screw down. And just line this up. Lock it down and put the carpet in place. And then you can twist the lock.